Well, hey friends, you're at that 1870s Homestead and my name's Rachel, and we are officially planting the 2024 garden. I got my big box of seeds out earlier today. It's no longer in here with me, but I did pull out the seeds that I need, to start wrapping my brain around for gardening this year. And that's something that you can be doing right now where you are in your home, in the quiet of the winter, the stillness, the short days, long evenings. And just sit down and think through, what do you want to grow? How much do you want to grow? Start researching it. If there are things new to you or you want to grow something different in a different way. Maybe you want to try a couple new gardening techniques. The winter is a fantastic time to research those things. So I did just publish a garden planner, and I'm using it myself for planning out this year's garden. And one of the things that I needed to think through was my goals, like what do I want to get out of this year's garden, and that's where my brain always starts. And it can be things very tactfully, like I just need to restock my pantry. Goal number one, right? But sure, I could do that. But really, it comes down to I want to have a lot of joy in gardening again this year. So my theme of my garden this year is to have a joyful space, a joyful and abundant space, a beautiful space. And what do I need to do to achieve those things? You keep the weed pressure down. I need to lay it out properly so it's well manageable. It doesn't take a lot of work. And just things like that are kind of like the themes of my goals, but I don't want to influence your garden goals. Your garden goals may be something completely different. But beyond just the tangible things, think about what makes gardening fun for you, or gardening something that fills your heart, that makes you a better person through the experience. And what about growing food for you, for your home, can help you achieve more than just the food itself, but those happy moments and those joyful moments. That I know that's just something that I'm really focused on this year. But I need to, why I start, so it's the end of December, and I'm going to be starting out planning this year because soon enough in January, early February, I need to start some of my first seeds. So now's the time to tell you guys some things that I identified early on, and this is day one of garden planning for the 2024 season. So I was shy 2 packs of seeds for carrots. So I need to go and order carrots before they're all gone. And I needed to order my onion starts. I do buy, so we live in Michigan, and I need to grow long day onions. And I've found personally for me, my best success comes from starting with an onion start, which is basically a first-year onion growing that a producer has started the plant, and then I take that bare root plant and plant it in my garden, and that's where I get the best success growing onions. So I did order my onion starts this morning. I ordered them from Dixondale Farms. They're down in Texas. So they'll get shipped, and you get to pick your ship dates. They give you a recommended based off your zip code, but you can adjust it. And so they'll ship to me in the second week of April for planting. Those are the two main things. So, but we're going to get into this, like one of the pages of the garden planner is like the what, when, how page. Like this is really what I'm thinking about today, is like things I have to purchase, right? So the carrot seeds, the onion seeds, I need to get some deciding in my mind to go out and do inventory of my seed trays. I know I need to purchase some new mycorrhiza fungi. So just those kinds of things I'm thinking about now, which gives me time to plan for it, to budget for it, to shop for it wisely over the next few months before we really start needing those things and having to consume them. And then the other main thing is kind of like really starting through on the seed starting schedule. So knowing that, right out of the gate in January are going to be things like getting my celery started, getting my sweet potato slip started in early February. I feel like, I might start artichokes this year and asparagus, a couple more things that I might pull forward the indoor seed starting just to make sure I have the best success when it comes time to transplanting them outside. So those are all things I'm thinking about. Do you guys want to see some of the seeds I pulled for planning to garden? I won't go through all of them because we'll do a more in-depth kind of going over everything. Let me straighten you guys out here. A little crooked. Okay. I hope you guys all had a very Merry Christmas. We did. It's a few days after now. And it's a little quiet in the house again. Everybody's gone. So I haven't grown parsley in a few years. It happened to stick around and self-seed for quite a few years the last time I planted it. So it's time. It didn't come back last year. So time to plant some more parsley. I'm going to try growing red noodle beans this year for my green beans, for green bean replacements. So they grow like on a vine that you'll need to trellis, and they'll grow like each bean can be up to 2 to 3 feet long. They're stringless, and you just break up those bean pods, and when you can them, they do turn green, and they're a great green bean source. So we're going to try that. If it doesn't work, I'll have a long enough season that I can do some bush beans and still get some bush beans. Bell peppers. I really love the albeit cucumber, the Beet Alpha cucumber. That's what it is. And I learned about this one from, names are slipping my mind right now. I'm not thinking straight. But it is a great producer of cucumbers. I grew this last year. Well, not last year, but the year before, and we'll grow it again. Of course, our jalapenos, we grow those every year. More bell peppers. So this is my favorite carrot. Hopefully you guys can see. It is called the Danvers carrot from In My Gardener. And I have 2 packets. I need two or three more packets of carrots. My favorite peas are Lincoln peas. So let's see if that'll focus. Yep, Lincoln peas. Great producers, long pods. So we have lots of Lincoln peas. And I have a different type of pea too. When I get to it, I'll show you. So one of the things that makes a garden joyful for me is flowers. So I've pulled out all the flowers that I want to plant in my garden. So it's bachelor's buttons, teddy bear sunflowers, and nasturtiums and marigolds. So I've got all of those. I even pulled out some chamomile. Okay. And can you believe it? I have never, ever grown butternut squash. It is a staple. So another thing that I'm thinking through when it comes to my garden being highly productive, a joyful space that is feeding my family well, one of the thoughts in the back of my mind as to the definition of that and what that means is growing food that's very nutrient dense and that stores very well. So butternut squash is one of those things that will store for a very long time, up to a year or more. And so we're going to try growing butternut squash for the first time. our sugar pie pumpkins, zucchini, more pumpkins. So I'm trying not to tell you everything because, so here's the other pea that I really enjoyed growing this year in my green stalk that did really well. It is the super snappy pea, super snappy. And also really long pods filled with nice sized peas in it. Okay, here's my first ask of you guys, dill. So I can grow dill. Dill grows okay here for me, but I never get those huge, massive dill plants. I'll get like a small dill plant with a few shoots on it. So what's the trick to growing those? And the variety I have is the mammoth dill. It just never gets mammoth for me. So if you guys know the trick to those big, beautiful dill plants, please leave it in the comments below because I really want to do that well. So other great nutrient-dense crops, broccoli. We're growing celery again. So I grew celery for the first time very successfully a couple garden seasons ago and was really surprised with how well it did. And we've used it quite a lot. We chose to freeze dry most of it. We use the celery powder from the celery leaves a ton. So it's definitely become a staple in our house. And I will definitely grow that. Corn. Lots more broccoli. Our cabbages, probably the thing people like to talk about the most in the gardening world, other than maybe herbs, so basil. I already have like a perennial herb garden. Our tomatoes. So let's talk about the variety of tomatoes I've chosen this year. So we're going to do some Paul Robeson tomatoes. Maybe one or two of my gardener's giant crimson. I'm at least going to try to get 2 started. I'll probably only plant one myself. If I'm fortunate enough to get 2 going, then I will give one away to my father-in-law. Pink Oxheart tomato. The Boxcar Willie. The Cherokee Purple. Champagne Bubbles for our cherry tomato. The Giant Belgium. I'm really excited about this one. I've never tried this one before. And an Amana tomato. Doesn't that look beautiful? Never grown this one either. But I love a lot of diversity in my tomatoes. I will tell you one that I tried that I am not a fan of, and that is the... Like I saw the seed packet, I was like, yep, no, never again. It's a dark one. I'll leave it in the description if I can't think of it while this video is still going. Yep, my mind's drawing a blank. But I recommend trying lots of new tomatoes and mixing your tomatoes when it comes to making your sauces and your salsas and basically all tomato products, because it gives it such a well-balanced flavor, a lot of depth of flavor, versus just going with an Amish paste all around. It's good, don't get me wrong. I mean, those are great tomatoes for making sauces, but when you mix a lot of variety, you get a flavor that can't be achieved any other way. So that's why I choose to go a lot of variety. From very acidic to sweet to fruity to more meaty texture. And then we, of course, have our lettuces. Buttercrunch is my favorite lettuce. We'll probably do some more kale because I doubt my kale is going to come back. I've had kale growing in that garden now for at least 4 years consecutively that self-seeds. Doubt it's going to do that this year after tilling it, but we'll see. Oh, no, I just spilled a bunch of seeds. So a couple fun things that I'm thinking about, and I need to get out there and like the next thing I'll do other than writing my list of what I need to buy, so you guys just know how my brain thinks, is I'm going to go just look at my garden again and really come up with a couple ideas using the garden layout pages and the garden planner. And I will use pencil because I will change my mind many times through this process. 3 things I'm thinking about: artichokes, hibiscus, and wheat. I want to try just a plot, a small little area of growing some hard white wheat. I think that's what it's called, the hard white wheat. And just so I know how much I get from that size of plot, so I can use that for future planning if we want to take a spot out bigger in the rest of the property to potentially try our hand at growing our own wheat berries. How fun would that be? I don't know for sure that I want to do it, or even if I do it, will I enjoy doing that? Something to learn, something to grow from and experience. I know it's a lot of work to harvest your own wheat berries, but I've watched the process and I'm like, it seems doable. So a lot to learn in that space. But anyway, I just wanted to share with you guys that I am starting my garden planning. We have all of our seeds out. We're working the plans. I'm going to bring you guys through this whole process with me this year, like I have in the past few gardening seasons, where we get our station set up in the house, we get our supplies together. I share with you how I do it. I'm no expert either, guys. I've learned this just like you guys by watching YouTube videos, by reading books, and sharing with you what I find has worked, what hasn't worked. And I'd invite you guys to join me. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe, follow along. We have a huge playlist on our channel of some great gardening years where our garden has produced beyond what we've needed. We've been able to share a lot of excess in a very small footprint. Our garden is about 45 by 45 square feet, and we do a high intensity gardening here for the most part, kind of using the square foot methodology where it works in our garden. And what else can I share with you? Yep, huge playlist. We'll link to that to give you some inspiration as you're thinking about what you want to grow, how you want to grow it, different garden designs. One garden from year to year for me never looks the same. They all look different. My struggles from one year to the next year aren't always the same. And I just look forward to getting my fingers back in the dirt and seeing what comes from our planning together this year. So if you're planning your garden, give me some ideas from your garden space. What are you growing? What new techniques are you trying? And maybe we'll continue to build this community of learning together down in the comments below. Until the next video, guys, I'll see you then. And happy planning your 2024 garden where you are. See you guys on the next one.